Hi, Damon.
Hey.
Thanks for the opportunity. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Have we got a good weather in London today?
Oh, I'm not in London, I'm in Los Angeles.
You're in Los Angeles. Ah, I see.
Yeah.
I used to live in London. I was there in the 90s when you showed up in a very...
I was there in the 90s as well. Where did you live?
in Camden Town.
Oh, nice. What a great place in the 90s, man.
Yes, it was quite lively, very Copacabana-like.
Yes, exactly. So you used to go to the Good Mixer. Do you remember the Good Mixer?
Yeah. And once or twice I met Amy Winehouse.
Amy, yes, yeah, Amy, yeah.
Yeah, she was a young girl, but she was already...
Yeah. Everyone was there during that time. It was a very popular spot.
Listen, first, a very important matter. When are you going to release Thiago Silva back to my team in Brazil, Fluminense, where he was created and revealed?
Well, I mean, he'd probably be leaving anyway. It's like, oh dear, it's been maybe the worst season I can remember, really.
It is indeed.
Disaster.
Yeah. Well, it can only go up from this place. I hope Chelsea recovers.
Well, you say that. I think you could go quite further down, actually.
Listen, Damon, Cracker Island was out on late February, but before that you had already released 5 singles before the full-length record. When you think of an album nowadays, do you think of it as a full-fledged work, as a movie or as an opera with a concept behind the whole thing, or single by single?
Yeah, I like to have some sort of narrative arch, kind of loose one. I mean, sometimes it's more focused than on other occasions. I think this record's got quite a strong narrative through it. I always try and make albums, and I don't really see things as singles. And then ultimately, it's the ability of it to play in one whole sitting that I'm interested in, really.
And considering the nature of Gorillaz, do you the visual thing comes along with the music and the lyrics, or there's a hierarchy?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, and the very nature of animation means that, sometimes there's quite a delay between the music and the release because of it's just very, very involved animation. And, it's hundreds and hundreds of thousands, actually, of hours to make a proper animated video, let alone a film. I can't even imagine how much time is invested, especially traditionally when it was all hand-drawn cell animation. I mean, it was like you'd have like maybe 200 people just drawing.
It's in Japan, Miyazaki, the guy from Ghibli.
Oh my goodness! Well, I mean,
he does it all by hand up to now.
I know.
Each frame, it's like obsessive.
They're the greatest. There's no comparison.
They are the greatest. They're
definitely the greatest. It's incredible.
In Cracker Island, there's the song itself. There's a mention to a place where truth was auto-tuned or digitally corrected. Is it a reference to the musical business itself or to the post-truth society?
I just think it's
both? Yeah,
I mean, and now we're being flooded with AI versions of everybody, which is like, it feels like a bit of a tsunami of, and I don't think people are actually able. I think it's out of control. I think maybe the machine has become sentient, and this is how it begins its first attack, turning us all into AI versions of ourselves.
So you are with Yuval Harari facing...
Yes,
as Yuval Harari, you're facing this as a major existential threat for us.
I don't think it's a threat. I think it's a reality. I think it's no longer existential.
It's no longer existential.
I mean, this isn't really me. This is the AI version of me.
Already.
already, and you don't know.
But well, what we see is that the first application of AI in our lives were the algorithms in the social media.
Absolutely.
Look at what happened. It's
Yeah.
like this topic.
Well, I mean, I haven't got telephone myself, so I'm kind of trying to stay slightly off grid.
You don't have a cell phone.
No.
You check emails in your laptop,
That's it.
notebook.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, I've got an iPad, but an iPad's a great thing for me because it has GarageBand. So it's like I can take photos, I can write, I can send emails, and I can make music. I don't need anything else really. Read a bit of The Guardian.
Have you ever had a social media account?
I mean, I have ones in my name, which are run by like management and record label, but there's nothing that's actually I have any involvement in at all.
I'm sorry, it's a part of my ignorance. Do you have kids?
I do. I have one 23-year-old daughter.
And what about her? What's her relationship with this?
Oh, yeah, she thinks I'm a complete idiot.
What does she do for a living?
She's at the London School of Fashion in her second year.
And that's her world.
That's her world. I mean, she absolutely, I mean, it's just permanently trying to make sure I don't say anything stupid, basically, or wear something stupid, or think something stupid. You know, it's the ministry of everything.
Are you obedient?
I try to be.
Oh, I see. That's good enough. Listen, besides this being this dreamlike, mysterious place, Cracker Island is actually a real location in New Scotia, in Canada.
Is it?
Have you ever been there? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Never been there.
No,
Yes,
I've never
there
been
is
there, but I would love to. Wow, I didn't know that it existed.
Not too far, just a 5-6 hour flight from LA. You'll be there.
Matt, I need to go there on the way back.
Yeah, it's probably cold.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like cold though. I love cold. I swim in cold. I live in the countryside and I swim in the cold sea all year round. I love the cold.
Your main base nowadays is Iceland?
No, although I am an Icelandic citizen, you know, and I have Viking heritage, so I consider myself partly Scandinavian, really.
I love Iceland. I've been there. It's one of the most incredible places I've ever been to.
What a beautiful place. I love it too.
What a beautiful place. And what a beautiful people and
yeah,
identity.
Well, the lovely thing about Iceland is that virtually everyone has some kind of artistic job, you know, and their social program is one of the best in the world. I mean, it's a very utopian place in many ways.
It is. And they have that drinking spree from Thursday evening to Sunday that is like a non-stop kind of national rave.
They're slightly less alcoholic than they used to be back in the day. When I first went there, they were still very hard drinkers, but I think they've definitely mellowed a bit over the years. Because, you know, they had, up until 1983, they had absolute prohibition of alcohol. So I think when I went there, they were still in that first sort of period post-prohibition.
Listen, Skinny Ape and the augmented reality app did really provide a immersive experience. When it comes up, and then when it comes up to live music on stage, it is a whole different game, or you try to emulate some kind of visual impact similar to the augmented reality app?
I mean, as yet, these things we haven't been able to tie all the things into one cohesive live experience where you are playing amongst the avatars. But I mean, I've no doubt that at some point soon it will actually be possible to do that, you know. But we always wanted to have the combination of holographs and humans interacting. That was.
If you were to choose a late artist to interact with in stage as a holographic image, who would that be?
Oh wow! I would say someone like John Lennon would be a lovely.
Wow.
Or Nina Simone, you know, one of those kind of cats.
That would be cool. That's a nice encounter. David Albarn and John Lennon. That would be nice.
Yeah, it's one of the people I really, you know, would have dearly loved to have known.
What would you ask him? What would you tell him?
What would I tell him? I'd just say thank you for.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate Mr. Lennon.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir. That's right.
That's how I would start.
Listen, Damon, Cracker Island has special guests. Tame Impala, the Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac, Thundercat, Beck. These collaborations were made easier by the pandemics or harder?
I mean, it was made sort of towards the latter end of that. I mean, the album before was Song Machine was entirely made in the pandemic, so everything was done virtually. On this occasion, I wasn't in the room when Stevie Nicks did her vocal, but you know, like I was there with Bad Bunny, I was there with Tame Impala, I was there with Beck. So, you know, it wasn't that virtual.
Damon, this kind of rhythm, gender in Brazil, we call it Brazilian funk.
Yes, Baile funk.
What did it attract you in this in MC Bin Laden and the thing he does?
Well, I've been a fan of his for a while. You know, I've been watching his stuff. I try to sort of keep myself, you know, in a relatively contemporary place, and I just like working with new people who I'm kind of sort of, you know, fans of. It's always a pleasure. And everyone, I think having collaborated with so many people now over the years, it's just amazing how everybody's process is slightly different, you know. It really is. See, this is the thing that AI will never be able to replace. There's that human interaction and the sort of the multiple variations of that and nuances of that interaction and what comes out of it. It's almost infinite, really, and you never really know what you're going to get, and I love that.
And it's not the first time you flirt with Brazilian grooves in 2005.
Yeah, I would. Well, I'm actually coming back at some point with my collective Africa Express, and we're going to do an Afro-Latin Express, and we're going to come to Brazil and bring loads of African musicians over and to make a festival. And we'll be doing that beginning of next year, I think. So there'll be a lot of funk.
Yeah, beginning of the year, you can stay up to Carnival, February.
I would love that. I haven't been to Rio Carnival. I've been to many other ones, but not that one.
You should definitely take this opportunity.
I know I should.
Yeah, and not so many people know about your passion and the influence upon you from Notting Hill Carnival and Afro-Caribbean music in general.
Absolutely.
How did this culture come upon you? Was it in London or did you go to Africa? How did this come up?
Well, I grew up in the early 70s in East London in a very, very mixed neighbourhood called Leytonstone. And, my school was like a third English-Irish, a third Pakistani and a third Jamaican. And that's how my childhood was in that kind of culture. And yeah, then I moved to West London when I was 19, and obviously the carnival has had a huge effect on me. I mean, I've been to the original carnival, Trinidad Carnival, spent like a week there once. I've sort of been involved in several soca compilations on my label, Honest John's. Yeah, I mean, it's just an endless voyage of discovery, really, a joyous discovery.
Just came up to my mind now that David Bowie had his childhood in Brixton. Do you think that it helps to understand David Bowie's art?
Sure, it's of course. So I mean, anyone who comes from these kind of neighbourhoods in London has got a huge kind of sort of African influence in their lives. It's it's like anyone in Brazil grows up with that same kind of connection.
Yeah, we are blessed with this African
you really are.
character.
You really are.
You have, we do.
I think Brazil's just an absolutely wonderful place.
Once you had to be kindly removed from the stage because after 5 hours you wouldn't stop playing. Cara, tem esse vídeo na internet do Damon simplesmente tendo que ser arrastado para fora do palco. Era um show desse projeto Africa Express e ele não consegue parar de tocar. Assim, realmente teve que ser gentilmente removido do palco pela sua própria equipe. Vamos rever esse momento antológico.
You gotta say more.
What was that? Was just a sample of the way you work, or the African music power?
Yeah, combination of many things. But yeah, no, I think it was longer than that. I think we've been on stage for 8 hours by that point.
8 hours, man. That's and he wanted to go on.
Yeah, I had to be a big man came on the stage and put me over his shoulder and carried me off. And then put me to bed.
We have this
and that was the end of that. I was a bit younger then, though. I don't know if I could do 8 hours now. I mean, I'd try, but
You are now 55.
I am, yeah.
Yeah, you are from March 23rd, right?
Yes.
I am March 29th, just turned.
Fellow Aries.
I'm 10 years older than you.
Okay, but you're still in Aries, so we're brothers.
I just found out the origin of the word to consider. Consider means to watch the sky. It's an astrological origin in Sidder, from Sidero. Sidero, calm,
I love etymology is one of my favourite hobbies.
It's incredible, really. Isn't it?
That really is incredible. Yeah, with the skies, consider.
Yeah, consider is watch the stars, the sidereal aspects of it.
Thank you for that.
Amazing.
That's a great one.
Yeah, and the other one related to that is contemplate. The Greeks, they divided the templates.
Yeah, the template.
That's beautiful. Yeah,
it is.
Listen, Damon, you were talking about the irreplaceable nature of personal meetings, presential meetings. In 2021, 2 years ago, a British paper said, "Why are bands disappearing? What is irreplaceable and special about being a human band?"
Well, it's that place where you all meet, where you're all playing in the same space and breathing in the same way, and it's very intimate kind of thing, and that translates to an audience as well. So there is true magic to be created in playing music, and I'll never leave that space.
How are you dealing with nostalgia, yours and the one that comes from the public?
I'm not particularly nostalgic. I've always felt like I'd rather work really hard and be able to enjoy the present than sort of look back on something.
And you are very into the future as well.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank you very much for this opportunity. And we're talking about
My
the
pleasure.
future. I remembered once I tried to interview John Cage when he was in Rio, and he didn't give any interviews. But I shouted to him, "Mr. Cage, what about the future?" And then he looked back and said, "I hope we have one." And,
well, fair enough.
So that's my last question to you. Mr. Albarn, what about the future?
Well, in a sense, the beautiful thing about the future is that we're making it now. So it is in many ways in our hands. We're holding it in our hands today. Obviously, asteroids. If you consider the cosmos, there's not really anything that we can say or do about it. But aside from that, we have power, even though we may not believe we have power.
It was very nice talking to your avatar.
Very nice
Mr.
talking
Albarn.
to you. I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. All the
Thank
best.
you.
I
Yes.
hope to see you in Brazil one day.
You will come to the Latin Afro Express.
Please,
Festival.
just
Yes.
give me a call. No problem.
I will. Okay,
Take
man.
care.
Bye.